Hello my dear students, in our lesson today we are going to study Unit 2. The title of the unit is Eating Around the World. Today we are going to study the grammar lesson which is about adjectives. Let's start with the meaning of the word adjective. Adjective is a word used to describe a noun and it is always singular. And it came before the noun. For example, he is a tall boy. Tall is an adjective, it came before the noun boy to describe it. Another example, the boy is tall. We use adjectives after these verbs. Verb to be, look, smell, sound, feel, taste, seem, appear, become, get. For example, she is beautiful. The food tastes good. We can also say you look tired. We don't use nouns after these adjectives. Afraid, alike, alive, alone, asleep, awake. For example, they are still alive. Alive is an adjective, but we don't put a noun after alive. We use nouns after these adjectives, indoor and outdoor. For example, I like outdoor activities. Outdoor is an adjective and activities is a noun. We must put a noun after these adjectives. We use the after some adjectives to refer to a group of people. For example, the rich. Rich is an adjective. When we put the before this adjective, I don't mean only one person, but I mean a group of people who are rich. When I say the rich, so I mean a group of people who are rich. Also the poor, I mean a group of people who are poor. The blind, the deaf. Now let's go to degrees of adjectives. Let's start with adjectives that has one syllable. For example, tall. Tall is an adjective. In comparative degree, it will be taller than. We use taller than when we compare between two things. For example, Ali is taller than Ahmed, the giraffe is taller than the elephant. But in superlative degree, it will be the tallest. For example, the giraffe is the tallest animal. Young, in comparative, it will be younger than. In superlative, it will be the youngest. Soft, in comparative, it will be softer than. In superlative, it will be the softest. Short, in comparative, it will be shorter than. Ahmed is shorter than Ali. In superlative, it will be the shortest. Ahmed is the shortest boy in the class. Cheap, in comparative, it will be cheaper than. In superlative, it will be the cheapest. Large, in comparative, it will be larger than. In superlative, it will be the largest. Wide, in comparative, it will be wider than. In superlative, it will be the widest. Big, in comparative, it will be bigger than. In superlative, it will be the biggest. Hot, in comparative, it will be hotter than. In superlative, it will be the hottest. Low, in comparative, will be lower than, and the lowest in superlative. Now let's go to two or more syllable adjectives ending in Y. For example, ugly. In comparative, the adjective ugly will be uglier than. In superlative, it will be the ugliest. Easy. In comparative, it will be easier than. In superlative, it will be the easiest. Heavy. In comparative, it will be heavier than. In superlative, it will be the heaviest. Happy. In comparative, it will be happier than. In superlative, it will be the happiest. Lucky. In comparative, it will be luckier than. In superlative, it will be the luckiest. Now let's see some adjectives that has more than one syllable. For example, modern. Modern is an adjective. In comparative degree, it will be more modern than or less modern than. We put more or less before the adjective and we put than after it. In superlative, it will be the most modern or the least modern. We put the most or the least before the adjective modern. Careful. In comparative, it will be more careful than or less careful than. In superlative, it will be the most careful or the least careful. Expensive. In comparative, it will be more expensive than or less expensive than. For example, my father's car is more expensive than my uncle's car, or my uncle's car is less expensive than my father's car. In superlative, it will be the most expensive or the least expensive. Wonderful. In comparative, will be more wonderful than or less wonderful than. In superlative, it will be the most wonderful or the least wonderful. Difficult. In comparative, will be more difficult than or less difficult than. In superlative, will be the most difficult or the least difficult. Beautiful. In comparative, will be more beautiful than or less beautiful than. In superlative, it will be the most beautiful or the least beautiful. Interesting. In comparative, will be more interesting than or less interesting than. In superlative, it will be the most interesting or the least interesting. For example, English is an interesting subject. In comparative, we can see English is more interesting than Spanish. Here we put more before the adjective and we put than after it. Or I can say Spanish is less interesting than English. English is the most interesting subject. This is the adjective, interesting in superlative degree. Now let's see some irregular comparatives and superlatives. For example, good. Good is an adjective. In comparative, it will be better than. In superlative, it will be the best. For example, Ali is better than Ahmed. In superlative, Ali is the best boy in the class. Bad. In comparative, it will be worse than. In superlative, it will be the worst. Little. In comparative, it will be less than. In superlative, it will be the least. Many or much. In comparative, it will be more than. In superlative, it will be the most. Far. In comparative, it will be farther than. In superlative, it will be the farthest. Now let's go to the order of adjectives. If I have more than one adjective in one sentence, how can I put them in the correct order? First, I will start with the adjective that refers to the opinion. For example, the adjective nice or wonderful or interesting. After it comes the adjective that refers to the size. For example, small, big, huge. After it comes the adjective that refers to the age. For example, old or young. After it comes the adjective that refers to the shape. For example, square. After it comes the adjective that refers to the color. For example, brown, white, red. After it comes the adjective that refers to the origin, like Italian, Spanish, Egyptian. After it comes the adjective that refers to the material, like wooden, like plastic. After it comes the adjective that refers to the usage, for example, dinner or wedding. And after it comes the noun. For example, it's a beautiful white wedding dress. Beautiful is an adjective that refers to the opinion. White is an adjective that refers to the color. And wedding is an adjective that refers to the usage. We can use these words before comparative adjectives to give it a degree. For example, much, a bit, a little. Traveling by train is a little cheaper than traveling by car. Cheaper is an adjective. We put the word a little before it to give a degree to this adjective. Another example, gold is much more expensive than salt. Here I put the word much before the comparative adjective more to give it a degree. To say that gold is much more expensive than salt. Notes. We use the structure as plus adjective plus as to compare between two things, but these two things are the same. For example, Huda is as old as Nada. They are both 18. Also, drinking fresh juice is as useful as eating fresh fruit. In negative, as plus adjective plus as, we put not before as plus adjective plus as, it will be not as adjective as, or not so adjective as. For example, I am not as old as Omar, or I am not so old as Omar. The structure as plus adjective plus as equals the same plus a noun plus as. For example, when I say Ahmed is as tall as Ali, tall is an adjective. This sentence equals Ahmed is the same height as Ali. Here we use the word the same, but after the same comes the noun from the adjective tall, which is height, and after the noun comes the word as. So when I say Ahmed is as tall as Ali, this sentence equals Ahmed is the same height as Ali. Let's know some adjectives and their nouns. For example, big or small. The noun is size. Deep, depth. Expensive, price. Far or near, distance. High, tall, height. Long, length. Old or young, age. Strong, strength. Wide, width. Cheap, price. For example, the green blouse is as expensive as the red blouse. This sentence equals the green blouse is the same price as the red blouse. Here I use the word the same, and after it came the noun from the adjective expensive, which is the price. So the green blouse is the same price as the red blouse equals the green blouse is as expensive as the red blouse. Now we have finished our grammar. Let's practice. Let's answer some exercises together. Choose the correct answer from A, B, C, or D. Number 1. A chair is a space comfortable than a sofa. Least, little, the least, less. So the right answer will be number D. A chair is less comfortable than a sofa. This is the space company in the world. More big, biggest, bigger, big. So the right answer will be number B, biggest. This is the biggest company in the world. English is a space than any other language. The easiest, more easy, easier, easy. The right answer will be number C. English is easier than any other language. You lost much space than yesterday. The happiest, more happy, happier, happy. So the right answer will be number C. You look much happier than yesterday. Football is space popular game in Egypt. The most, less, most, more. So the right answer will be number A, the most. Football is the most popular game in Egypt. This is space picture I have ever seen. The nicest, nicest, nicer, nice. So the right answer will be number A. This is the nicest picture I have ever seen. This computer is not space expensive as that I bought yesterday. Most, as, less, more. The right answer will be number B. Is not as expensive as that I bought yesterday. She is as space as Sama. They are the same height. Long, heavy, high, tall. So the right answer will be number D. She is as tall as Sama. They are the same height. This is the space test I have ever taken. Hardest, less hard, harder, hard. So the right answer will be number A. This is the hardest test I have ever taken. He is not space reliable as his friend. So the right answer will be number D. He is not so reliable as his friend. The food is not nearly so space as it was in the past. The best, worse, better, good. So the right answer will be number D. The food is not as nearly so good as it was in the past. Ala is a space doctor than Omar. The best, better, good. The right answer will be number C. Better. Ala is a better doctor than Omar. Water is the space expensive of all liquids. More, less, least, most. The right answer will be number C. Water is the least expensive of all liquids. An elephant is spaced as a tiger. As fast, fastest, faster, not as fast. So of course the elephant is not as fast as a tiger. So the right answer will be number D, not as fast. Bill is much spaced than Tom. The most intelligent, more intelligent, least intelligent, intelligent. The right answer will be number C, more intelligent. Bill is much more intelligent than Tom. Nobody in our company is spaced Abdurrahman. As efficient, most efficient than, as efficient as, efficient. So the right answer is nobody in our company is as efficient as Abdurrahman. The right answer will be number C. Climbing is the space dangerous sport in the world. As, less, most, more. So the right answer will be number C. Most dangerous sport in the world. Climbing is the most dangerous sport in the world. He has much space friends than me. More, the least, most, many. So the right answer will be number A. He has much more friends than me. Women are space divers than men. Worst, the worst, worse, bad. The right answer will be number C, worse. Cars are twice as space as they were a few years ago. More expensive, most expensive, expensive, less expensive. So the right answer will be number C. Cars are twice as expensive as they were a few years ago. Now, my dear students, we have finished our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed it. See you soon. Thank you and goodbye.